Yo, what is going on guys? Jack here and welcome to episode 61 of our Tracksuit to the Top series here in Lewis FC in the Premier League. Today I have you guys the last game of the season live come against Chelsea. I'm not going to do an end of season review this episode, I'm actually going to save that for a following video for episode 62. I've kind of been trying this out, as you guys know, with this series, doing these end of season reviews as separate episodes. It allows me to kind of make some notes on stuff I need to cover, and I'm bound to miss something otherwise, and I like going into in-depth and kind of giving it its own dedicated episode. But anyway, we have got Chelsea today, but first and foremost, just a quick look at our fixtures since the last episode, which was against Brighton, where we lost 2-1. So you can see our form's been pretty poor again. 2 wins in our last 8. It's not great. I mean, we have got 7 points in those last 8, which is only just shy of the kind of form you need to avoid relegation, but still disappointing. We have played some tough games, I guess, as well, so it could be worse. Anyway, one of the wins came against QPR. That was a 5-2 win. Casper Denor getting a very odd hat-trick. The right midfielder hasn't featured too much in the first team, but in this game he played superbly, and as I mentioned, he grabbed a hat-trick. The next game was against Forest, who I want to say we lost to before, 4-3 earlier on in the year. This time they beat us again at home. Brett Sombalonga and Dan Burn grabbing the goals for them. Pretty disappointing by us. This was nothing like the game last episode against Brighton, where we were dominant. In the end, Forest were just the better team. However, we did dominate the next game, which was actually against Hull. We beat them 2-0, really convincing win, had a load of chances. Not perhaps as many shots on target as I'd like, but all in all, we did a pretty good job here, and this is the kind of performance and kind of result I would have liked to have seen in the Brighton game last episode. Anyway, the next result was a 3-1 defeat against the team bottom of the league, Swansea. We actually missed an opportunity to go 2-1 up with Matthew Lewis missing a penalty, and it felt like momentum really shifted at that point. Ross Barkley put Swansea 2-1 up before Joe Allen was sent off, the Welsh international sent off in Wales against Swansea here, and then Matos grabbed one late goal to give Swansea a really convincing 3-1 win, and that was disappointing because really we could have done a lot better. Anyway, the next 4 results, 4 really tricky games. Doesn't surprise me not to have got any points. The first one was against Man City. We lost 3-1, as you can see. Matthew Lewis getting a goal for us, but unfortunately Man City were just too strong. Tielemans on this save has developed incredibly, which doesn't always happen. But you can see here he's done well for them there, and looking at it all in all, it was actually a fairly 50-50 game. A little bit disappointing perhaps to lose 3-1. The next result was against Chelsea. No, it wasn't. Chelsea's today against Liverpool, who we lost to 6-5 last time we met. Chelsea, I keep saying Chelsea. Why is Chelsea in my mind? I have no idea. But yeah, Liverpool are in the Champions League final in this save, and I believe they won it last year as well, the Champions League, so they're not a team to kind of be underestimated. We didn't underestimate them here, but they were just too strong. They actually went 4-0 up. We pulled it back to 4-2, but in my kind of desperation, I guess, to throw some men forward for a comeback, we did concede one more, and 5-2 was how it finished. We got our only point in our last 5 at home against Newcastle. A good performance here. We were probably the better team. Good to see Harayan get the Man of the Match award. He's been doing a good job, obviously, at centre-back for us this year. 7.25 average ratings. Pretty decent for a team newly promoted, but specifically for their defenders. So I'm very happy with that. And the last result was against Arsenal, where we lost 3-2 as Ala Abdel Aziz, what a name that is, grabbed a 90th minute winner for them. Having been 1-0 down, we pulled things back to take the lead 2-1. However, we conceded not long after, and then in the 90th minute, heartbreak as Aziz scored for Arsenal. So looking at this game today, we are playing Chelsea, who have won the league quite comfortably. Looking at the league table, Sunderland, Tottenham and Swansea, the teams going down. Tottenham is a ridiculous team to get relegated in 2021. That is really surprising. They've still got Lamela and they've got some other fairly good players, so I might look to see if we can sneak any of them in and get them, since they did get relegated so surprisingly, I guess, but the wages could be an issue. But all in all, it's been a good first year. If we lose today, we could potentially drop as low as 15th. I'm not sure what the prize money is like in the Premier League. Let's just check that. I think it's under rules. So looking at it, there is quite a lot of money on the line. There's about £1 million between each position, which could make a big difference for us. If we were to win We could potentially go maybe above Hull. I'm not sure if that's still on goal difference or head-to-head, but I think our head-to-head against Hull is actually fairly decent. So there's a chance there. Obviously, we are playing Chelsea, so it's not going to be easy. But 13th is just nothing to be ashamed of. Would be very, very happy with 13th. Ultimately, the board expectation is actually mid-table, which is what we're on course to do now. Initially, though, it was just to avoid relegation. So I'm pretty happy with how we've kind of got on, I guess, this year. Things are looking good. In terms of our squad for today's game, we have got some injuries. Sonogo's out with an injury. Casper Denor is out. Suso is injured as well, which is a shame with a double hernia. Probably should have terminated his loan when that happened, but didn't think to do that. Elsewhere, our back four and our goalkeeper is full strength. We do look a little bit kind of makeshift in the midfield because we're missing, well, as I mentioned, we're missing Sonogo. Joe Allen's got a partial injury, so that's basically our two centre mids out. And then obviously at right mid, we're missing Suso. But in the final third, we have got Iheanacho and Matthew Lewis at our disposal. So anyway, let's get into today's game. Home against Chelsea. They did beat us 4-1 before. I would be a liar if I said I have any expectations for us to kind of even get a point here. But we'll just have to kind of fight with what we've got and the squad that we have and see how we get on. Let's just have a look at Chelsea's lineup quickly. They've got Berardi in the final third. They've got Romero, Ward-Prowse, Eden Hazard. Gaia is a very good underrated left back. John Stones. Oh God, they've got a strong team. They've got Brandt as well, who's a really good young winger. They've got a very good team, Chelsea, so this isn't going to be easy. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. Obviously, they're playing 5 in midfield, which is a little bit odd because usually when a team's particularly good, they'll have one or two more extra players kind of in the final third. So kind of unusual, I guess. So we're on the attack here. Oh, the whistle's gone. I was thinking we were going to get a crazy opening to the game. But no, 4-5-1 is a little bit of an odd formation for Chelsea to be playing. Just a little bit unusual, I guess, for more dominant teams. But obviously it served them well because they are top of the Premier League. But we're going to go out on the attack here. We're going to try and do something here. Obviously our form hasn't been great, really, since Christmas. So I don't really know what to expect from this game. It's been a disappointing end to this year. Ultimately, the strong start we had and the position we now find ourselves in terms of being 13th is really pleasing. However, considering we were as high as 6th at around Christmas time, or at least around that time of the year, perhaps a little bit disappointing to tail off as we have. As you can see, we're actually dropping down to 14th now, as well as Ward-Prowse scores a free kick from range, which is a shame. But I mean, ultimately, I'm very pleased for this year. Obviously, I'll talk more about how the team has developed, my plans for next season at the end of, well, not at the end of, at the next episode where we go into some detail. But the team's adapted fairly well. There's some players and positions I need to strengthen, particularly my back four. Obviously, this year, my right back and first choice left back have both been loaned in. So that's got to be something. I look to maybe get some permanent solutions to that problem. I've got a few good little young players in South America I've been scouting out. There's a really good River Plate fullback who I'd like to get my hands on if possible. And there's also a very good young Brazil under-21 striker who's come up. Obviously, I'll cover them perhaps next episode, or I might do them at the end of this one if I remember. But I think the plan now has got to be to try and build a steady Premier League team. If we can get another kind of mid-table to just inside the top half finish, that would be very pleasing, and that will give me the grounds to kind of build upon. To be fair, this second half of the year, I wouldn't say we've played necessarily badly. It's just a case of we've just not defended particularly well, and other teams just have better quality. But there's been games that we've dominated and not got points from. We've certainly been unfortunate in that regard, in my opinion. I mean, even here, whilst I was rambling on, we did just hit the post, and now we put the ball into the box. It's not going to amount to anything. But, you know, we're capable of creating chances, and obviously we do, I believe, still have the top 2 goal scorers going into this final game in the league in the form of Matthew Lewis and Iheanacho. So the main plan has got to be to try and get Matthew Lewis for another year, but that's going to be difficult because I can't see Newcastle wanting to loan him to us. But certainly we've either got to try and get Matthew Lewis in permanently or on loan again, or try and get a striker who's going to be able to I guess, offer Iheanacho the support that he craves. But obviously Matthew Lewis and Iheanacho, they've been playing up front for the last 2 years. They really have got a good understanding. My worry is that Matthew Lewis is still a very good young English talent, and Newcastle are not going to want to sell him for cheap. But anyway, looking at the stats here, we are at home, obviously at the dripping pan. Chelsea have been on top, although possession's been fairly 50-50, and we have had our own kind of fair share of chances. We had that one clear cut chance that we missed. So that's fairly promising, the fact that we're even creating opportunities here. Obviously, Chelsea top of the league, and they secured their top spot a few games ago now. They really have walked the league in reality. It was a little bit tighter earlier on. Arsenal were right up there in the table, but they slipped off, and Chelsea have just maintained their kind of performances throughout the entire year and maintained their form. But anyway, we're on the attack here. Rolando Aarons with some pace. Iheanacho's in the centre. Yes, he is. He gets the header. That is his 24th goal of the season. Kelechi has had a great season. And obviously, we had interest from Porto earlier on in the year that I talked about a few episodes ago in January. We've held on to him. Still got a long time left on his current contract. And I'd love to keep him at the club for a while yet, because I think he's a fantastic Premier League player. And he's just a goal scorer. And they're very, very hard to come by. And we've been blessed with 2 very good ones. But anyway, we've got to defend here. Chelsea on the attack. Aarons picks up the ball. Can he deal with it? De Bock. Thompson puts the ball up for Lewis, who has pace. Hit that. It's 2-1. Mad. Matthew Lewis using his pace. That's his 30th goal of the season. That's incredible. The ball through by Rolando Aarons as well, the left midfielder, was crazy from deep. And well, Matthew Lewis had a lot of green grass in front of him, and when he has the pace that he has, it's going to be very difficult for the Chelsea defenders to keep up. So we're actually 2-1 up here, slightly against the run of play, but we've not played badly. So I'm just going to tell the players, I don't know why they'd be unhappy by me telling them to do it for the fans, but apparently they are. Apparently not a fan of the fans. But nevertheless, 2-1, we're doing well. Defensively looking fairly strong. Chelsea haven't had a load of chances. I think this second half they might throw a few more men forward, and it's going to make it trickier for us. But right now, got to be pleased with what I'm seeing from the team, because to score 2 against Chelsea is impressive. To have the lead against them after a half is impressive. If we could close it out for the game to get 3 points would be incredible, but it's not going to be easy as Hazard makes a run. Mihajlovic though with a fantastic tackle, and now we can build from the back. Matthew Lewis, the big ball over the top to him. Lots of green grass ahead. Iheanacho was there as well, but ball couldn't quite find its way to his feet. And now Hazard's on the attack. Berardi, who is that covering defensively? Harayan, that is incredible defending, my friend. And the ball up is not bad either. Iheanacho charging. Lewis! Courtois with a huge save, but that was a chance to make it 3-1, and Matthew Lewis has missed it, although we've got a cross and it's not going to amount to anything. But some good defending there by, I think it was Mihajlovic with the tackle, and then we broke fast and we used that pace again. But unfortunately that time Matthew Lewis wasn't kind of on his A game, I guess, to bury the ball there. You'd put money on him burying it from that far out. But Courtois, one of the best keepers in the world, obviously, and one of the best keepers in Football Manager, held strong. We've got to be careful at the back, because we have got a few yellow cards and we don't want to see anyone get sent off. But Matthew Lewis here, he's got some grass in front of him. Just run into it, Matthew. Shea's there. Iheanacho, Lewis. Rolando Aarons on the overlap. Ball can't find its way in, but De Bock might have a chance. Lewis. There's options. This is nice build-up play against Chelsea. Ojo. Iheanacho. Oh, was that a miss? It was. That was another chance. Well, it's been a really impressive performance. We are certainly taking the game to Chelsea here, but at the moment there's only 1 goal between us. I mean, that's probably fair looking at the stats, but we've really had some better opportunities than Chelsea to put this game beyond doubt. But we are on the attack again here. Iheanacho crowded out by that 5 in midfield. Ward-Prowse doing the dirty work there, and now Hazard tries to put for a ball, but Mihajlovic is there. This is a really impressive performance. This is some of the performances that we've had against bigger teams other times in the season, like where we beat Chelsea, Manchester United, and we obviously beat Man City as well. So to do this live is nice, so you guys get to see kind of what we've done in these big games. As Iheanacho's free, bury that. Oh, Courtois with a save again. Wow. 5 clear-cut chances. We really should be winning this game by more, and we're not. But no, this is the kind of performance we had against Manchester United, the kind of performance we had against Man City. Except we scored more and we won, as Berardi scores from the near post for Chelsea to make it 2-2. Disappointing to concede from a set piece. But it's gone in. Ward-Prowse with the ball of quality in there to the near post, and it's just a good finish on the volley. Keeper, he doesn't move. Kouakou, perhaps a little bit disappointing, but I don't think there's a lot he could have done even if he had been positioned better, because it just hit so hard. Anyway, we're going to make some changes. Shea's looking a little bit tired in the midfield, so we'll make that change. I'm also going to bring on Borthwick Jackson for De Bock. I don't want to see him get red carded for a second yellow, so we'll play it safe there. And I'm also going to make... In fact, I was about to make another change, but I'm not. Just because I want to save that third sub for in case of injuries, because I feel like there's a curse of the triple sub in Football Manager. Not that there's actually anything there that kind of curse-wise or chance-wise, but it always feels like if you make all 3 subs, you see a player injured or get a knock, like Matthew Lewis has. So we'll bring on Jerome Sinclair. Obviously, Jerome Sinclair and Alex Samuel have been very patient as our second choice strikers. Jerome Sinclair's contract runs out at the end of the year, so he's going to be leaving the club, I think. Obviously, he's not really been the same since his injury-plagued season in the Championship. But unfortunately for us, he's not developed. He's not been happy about the lack of first-team football, obviously because Matthew Lewis and Iheanacho have been doing such a great job. And so we're going to probably lose him. But anyway, that's a good result. 2-2, we had chances to win it, but Chelsea, a very strong team at the top of the table. That result sees us maintain our 13th placed finish, so that's very good news. And things are looking bright, I guess. 13th is nothing to be ashamed of for our first kind of season in the Premier League. We get some decent prize money as well, which I can hopefully reinvest. Well, anyway, guys, that's going to wrap things up from me for this episode 61. As I said, next episode I will do a live recap thing for you guys of this season, really go into detail, look at players' training schedules, what's been going on behind the scenes. So hopefully you guys will look forward to that. If you've enjoyed this video, as always, smash the like button. A good start to our Premier League campaign, something to build off, and I'm very kind of anxious and excited to see what the future holds here for the coming season. So I'll see you guys for next episode where we'll talk squad and plans for next season.